Today is January 26, 2023. 2 weeks ago, on January 12th, I wanted to commit suicide. I have severe PTSD to the sound of aircraft. And the reason for that is I have hypersensory perception. Loud aircraft causes me severe pain. In addition to that, I had suffered severe physical injuries due to aircraft flying close to me and causing me to fall and damage my limbs. I was catching in bed on the 11th. On the 12th, there were motherfucking airplanes every 3 to 6 minutes at low altitudes, and motherfucking military helicopters at low altitudes. It became unbearable. I tried to hide in my bed and sleep. At 3 p.m., I was awakened and badly startled by yet another motherfucking military helicopter. Keep in mind, these assholes do not put transporters. You cannot trace them on tracking apps. They just flying shit above your head. Motherfucking flying abusers. At this point, I could not take it anymore. I struggled for a couple hours. I wrote suicide notes in advance with instructions to my family how to access my online accounts so that they wouldn't have to struggle with it, with trying to find any passwords or anything like this. I went to my room. They have locks. I left keys outside in the entryway so that nobody would have to break the door. That was a mistake, to leave the keys outside. I synthesized the poison in advance, and I just had to mix a couple final ingredients to it, which I did. Ken tried to wrestle poison away from me. I just told him to leave, and I locked the door. But he had the key. He opened it and tried to harass me again. I just told him to leave. All I wanted to do, my room was my last safe space. My bed there was my last safe space. It was very lovely. Very beautiful. I put my designs in there. I had my diaries in there. I had my books in there. I just wanted to lie in my safe bed under my white fuzzy blanket and listen to last song, ingest the poison and peacefully die so I don't have to suffer anymore. I had tried to reach for help. I was denied help. Multiple law firms refused to represent me against the abusers. Even Ken dismissed my concerns before and called me a boy who cried wolf until I showed him the wolves. I had to contact all these attorneys myself, being re-traumatized every time that I had to rewrite and retell my story to them. And when they would tell me no, Ben Crump was among these attorneys. They claim to give voice to those who are voiceless on their website. This is a motherfucking lie. They lie. I tried to talk to the FAA, to the city, to the military. They all treated me like I was a pest. They couldn't care less about me and people like me. I couldn't get any help. I tried to reach out I tried to reach out for help to the police, to the motherfucking police. I tried to reach out for help. They never helped. They refused to go after the abusers. They refused to arrest abusers despite them committing hate crimes against me. 911 operator threatened me with criminal persecution for daring to complain about the abuse. I have screenshots of these messages. Yes, get this through your head, people. Get this through your head. They refused to go after hate crimes, but they were more than willing to abuse survivors of these hate crimes. I can't make this fatal mistake of contacting 911 and telling them that I'm trying to commit suicide. I told him before, do not involve the state. We are autistic. State is not our friend. They are our enemy out there to get us when we are at our most vulnerable. He contacted. Oh my fucking gods. There was like a dozen of these shitheads. Like, what am I, fucking Terminator? I have axonal CMT. I have a strength of a 5-year-old child. In my last remaining safe space, I was brutally assaulted by the police. 5 of them entered my room. I think 5 I could not. I was in acute distress. They tried to negotiate with me. Like I was some kind of a fucking domestic terrorist. I told them, I know and I see what you are doing. Please just leave me alone. I want to be alone. One of them called Tommy he was at the house before previously. Was telling me some fucking story. Like, don't you understand? I do not understand what you are saying. I'm in acute distress. Don't you motherfuckers understand that? After a couple minutes, they decided the diplomacy has failed, and all 5 of them attacked me and wrestled poison out of my hand. I could hear my bones cracking. All 5 of them pinned me down, causing severe pain right on what used to be my safe bed. They told me to stop hyperventilating. I wasn't hyperventilating. I was crying. They caused severe pain and I screamed from it. Then another motherfucker entered the room. I guess it was a medic and administered some horrid medication to me. Now we know it was ketamine. Medication made me clinically insane for multiple hours. It caused me immeasurable suffering. It's a psychedelic experience. I saw myself turn into flowing colors and I was melting. I literally breathed myself out of my own lungs and I saw my speech outside of my body. I did not perceive people. I perceived blue and bright pink and white cubes. And I thought, surely that must be a nightmare. It will just end soon. I will wake up and it will end soon. I came to my senses and I could not speak properly. I blurted words. I saw my speech outside of my body. I looked at my hands. They looked like a strange digit, like hands of this Chucky doll from a horror movie. I thought, sure, this is all the nightmare. It will end soon. Just wake up in my safe bed. move and I realized I have handcuffs and I am tied my whole limbs to the bed. I caused so much pain. I caused so much pain. But just the covered in bruises. Some unbearable noise I was left without any ear protection. At least 75 decibel. I developed sensory overload after 60 decibel. Just suffered multiple severe sensory overloads. One of them was this police officer using a flashlight to shine bright light into my eyes. I'm sensitive to light. That wasn't a nightmare, that was just a vacation. They tortured and abused me for hours. They experimented on me. They destroyed my body, my spirit, and my intellect, and my memory. And they administered massive doses of ketamine to me. They administered another one in the hospital because I screamed, and I screamed because I was in pain. I requested multiple times to be transferred to a sensory-friendly room. I requested multiple times to be given headphones. They told me they didn't have sensory-friendly room. They didn't have headphones. They denied multiple idea requests. They drew my blood without my consent. They administered medications without my consent. I explicitly objected to all of that once I regained the ability to speak. They apparently drew my urine without my consent too, which means they sexually assaulted me. As a matter of fact, when I couldn't feel because of ketamine, I couldn't feel parts of my body, including lower parts. When I could see, and they didn't give me my glasses. I'm severely visually impaired. I had difficulty seeing. I was horrified and traumatized. This unknown environment. Is that my pants been pulled down or my panties been pulled down? There was a strange catheter-like thing taped to my lower abdomen below my belly button. I was covered in different shitty glue patches that caused severe sensory issues. I removed as many as I could. And I demanded multiple times to remove restraints. Please keep coming back. Menacing and threatening to use worse restraints and cause even more pain. When I screamed from pain, they admonished me for screaming from pain. They starved me. I was so weak. I didn't eat for 24 hours. Then they brought me food I could not eat. I told them I cannot eat meat, and they brought me turkey sandwich. I told them I cannot eat cheese, and they brought me grilled cheese sandwich. It was just one abuse after another. I managed to fold my hand into a tube and remove one of the restraints. That pissed them off incredibly. I could have run away. They weren't watching it all the time. I could have. I didn't. I just came to ask to be given some relief from the horrible effects the ketamine was having on my body. I was left without any help for multiple hours. I repeated this request to be given some medication to negate the effects of ketamine for over 1,000 times. I was not given anything. I was told that it will just wear off. Well, guess what, motherfuckers? It's been 2 weeks! 2 fucking weeks! It hasn't worn off! I still cannot lift my arms properly. It hasn't worn off. I have all these bruises and little scars literally all over my body. The police and hospital staff made materially false statements. I read the notes they left. They performed multiple tests on me without my consent. I read their notes. I made screenshots because seeing how lying and corrupt they are, I didn't want them to destroy evidence. It also re-traumatizes me. Police said I posted about my suicide on Facebook group. What Facebook? What Facebook group, motherfuckers? I do not even have Facebook account. Why are you lying, you miserable piece of trash assholes? Why are you lying? I asked the police in the hospital room, are your body cameras on? And they said, we do not have body cameras. I said, oh, how convenient. So you can conveniently abuse disabled autistic people in secrecy. I tried to appeal to their humanity. They had none. I tried to appeal to the humanity of the medical staff. They had none. I said, your people, your community, why are you acting like evil robots? They said, we just follow the rules. They had no humanity. They're pieces of human trash. They did not have humanity in them. They were cruel, beyond belief. I asked repeatedly for them to stop abusing me. They refused. I told them what I thought about them. I said, you are monstrous abusers. I said, how do you treat other autistic people? And they said, we just follow the rules. These are the laws. Lobby for better laws. And that was also a lie. I later discovered there were methods of them to treat me better. They just chose not to. They chose to continuously abuse and destroy me and cause me incredible pain. Some fucking clueless nurse walked in and lowered bed rails and twisted all of my limbs out of their sockets because they're all attached to the bed. They admitted that fact in their report. I tried to kill myself for the second time while in the hospital because I was unable to cope with sensory overloads, continuing one after another and excruciating pain from the restraints. I was so sad. I was so sad. I'm still so sad. They lied that I tried to harm others. I never did. And I have the right to kill myself because it is my fucking life. I have free will. If you do not believe in free will here, then you're fucking North Korea or Soviet Union. They had no right to limit my freedom. Who was the motherfucker who issued this temporary restraining order? Who was the motherfucker who put these words in the law? Harm to self or others, there is no or. How this ended up there, there is no or, motherfuckers. I have every right to harm myself. It is my life. I did not commit crimes. Why was I treated like a murderer? They treat murderers better than they treated me. They lied about a lot of things. I requested to have AirPods because they would effectively cancel noise, the type of noise that was. And they brought earplugs. I I had to because of all the motherfucking aviation noise. I developed acute fungal ear infection because I had to be in earplugs and AirPods 24/7 pretty much. It's not natural. Your doctor said ears have to have natural ventilation. And I was having severe issues. I couldn't put earplugs in because that would just push infection closer to my brain, essentially. They lost all of my earplugs. They even lost one of my AirPods, and they finally gave them. I had a seizure from sensory overloads and just, I guess, fell out. They didn't even bother to return it to me. The absolute monsters. They learned people, the monsters. Monsters, abusers. I told them the truth for what they were. They tested me for alcohol without my permission. They tested me for drugs without my permission. They tested me for pregnancy without my permission. They performed a lot of tests on me without my permission. They drew my blood without my permission. They administered medications, including 2 doses of ketamine in monstrous doses too, compared to my weight. Like, what the fuck? I am not an elephant. They wanted to sedate me for screaming from pain, and they caused that pain. It's like you hit somebody over the head with a baseball bat and they scream from pain, and then you punish them for screaming from that pain. How fucking twisted and perverted is that? From having seizures and moving around till my hair got messed up to the point I had to remove like a quarter of my hair. I couldn't brush it out later. Still hurts. I have multiple bumps on my head. They lied about my leg not being swollen. It was so swollen I needed assistance to get to the bathroom. They did not give me my cane. I walk with a cane due to mobility issues. They didn't give me my cane. They all jumped into my little room back at the house without face masks, despite me telling them I'm not vaccinated. They left me without face mask at the hospital for multiple hours before they finally gave it to me, despite my requesting it. They lied on the statement about that I was offered breakfast, and I said I will think about it. They didn't give me any breakfast. They were starving me. And literally what I told them was that they offered that when I was walking to the bathroom. I was at my lowest. My cognitive functions have collapsed. I told them literally, I can only do one thing at a time. I can either walk, talk, think, or choose. I cannot do all of these now. They claim they explained procedures to me. They didn't, at least not in a form I could understand. Due to all the torture and suffering, I lost the ability to comprehend most of the spoken speech. I requested alternative communication means. They denied that as well. They had no right to treat me like this. I did not commit any crimes. I did not commit any crimes. I dared to get sad due to constant abuse. That's what my crime was, being sad. It was impossible to get their attention. I had to scream. And I suspect this is because it was extraordinarily noisy where they put me. My throat still hurts. Even though noise was coming from the corridor, they would leave the door open despite my asking them to close it. police just lied about a lot of things. That poison was made with household chemicals. I never told them it was made with household chemicals. They just made it up out of thin air. I think that was the end of it, or no? That motherfucking abusive doctor who wrote the report wrote she had to be under constant observation so he could quickly intervene. I was without any help for multiple hours, motherfucker. That's what you called constant observation. No help was provided to me, no relief was provided to me. The only reason they left one restraint only is because I tried to kill myself for the second time. It wasn't through the goodness of their hearts. No, there's no goodness in their hearts. I doubt they even have hearts. They are monstrous pieces of human trash, devoid of any humanity. You know, they could have arranged for private transport. They didn't. What they did was to inflict more abuse on me. They didn't explain to me in the form I could understand where they're taking me. They just suddenly came and told me we have to leave. They put this leather and metal belt around my waist, which caused additional sensory issues. I didn't even have shoes. They walked me outside in socks. To that belt in front of my body, they put these horrible tight handcuffs that cause so much torture. Even earlier in the hospital, I could not close my ears to at least save myself from the noise. I told them about it, and one of them jeered and said, well, you managed to reach kind of. And they kept saying, oh, these are comfortable restraints. Well, motherfucker, if you don't have nervous system, then I guess these are comfortable. But if you are disabled, autistic, sensitive to touch, they sure as fuck are not comfortable. They are torturous. They just threw me in the back of the police car. I have to sit sideways because my leg doesn't bend. I hit my head hundreds of times on the door and the window. I suffered so much. I was terrified. I didn't know what I'd taken. They didn't explain in a form I could understand. I had to withdraw for a few hours, 3 or 4 hours. I suffered this whole time. I had to scream a few times. I couldn't take it anymore. I screamed, stop, 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 stop. They found, they are so fucking thick. They found I'm requesting to go bathroom. What fucking bathroom? I am dying here from sensory overloads, you miserable motherfuckers. I said, how much longer? Please show with your hand so I can understand, because I cannot comprehend spoken speech now. And they just said with words. Just said, what the fuck would kill them to just show with fingers, numbers? Just bounce them out. I could not adjust myself because my hands were these horrible handcuffs. I could not cover my ears from a horrible noise and vibration from the highway. That lasted hours. I did not know where they were taking me, what they were going to do to me there. They didn't tell me, they did not treat me like a person. They treated me like a thing. They treated me like a thing. I didn't know what they were going to do to me. took me to Riverside Behavioral Center. I had to wait in the lobby. I went into full shutdown mode. I could not take it any longer. I just passed out and collapsed to the floor, busted my shoulder, and I hurt my head even more. And even before that, they let me out of police car in socks on the background. It was cold. I didn't have any jacket or any outside pants. They just let me out, literally in my pajamas. And they left the trunk open, and I hit my head. They led me right underneath the trunk, and I hit my head on the trunk and got another bump on my head. I literally have like 5 or 6 bumps on my head now. And in the lobby, I just collapsed. I woke up on the floor with a bump on my head. There's a horrible bruise on my shoulder, and all of that was ever documented. I can't. I have to get the fucking tissue. I can't breathe. It's a horrible trip. There was overdose of them at the house. For what fucking reason? They cornered Ken into a corner. He has this thing. He has memory failure, fake memories when he gets really traumatized. He told me they forced him to be outside of the house. I look at the security camera records. No, he wasn't outside. Then he later said they cornered him into a corner in the kitchen. What right did they have to do that? That's our fucking house. We live there. They have no right to be there. And I don't have anyone to trust now. I don't trust Ken because he set these vultures on me. I don't have my safe space anymore. I think that was the end of it. Oh no, that would be too fucking good, wouldn't it? At Riverside, at least, people and beasts, they too tried to deny ADA requests at first, but once they realized they were legitimate ADA requests, they accommodated them. Being awakened every 15 minutes with security checks was difficult to cope with, but I witnessed a few incidents, so I understand they have reasons for the security checks. At least they didn't tie me up like a mad cow. I kept having negative side effects from ketamine there too. Parts of my body were still numb. All the bruises and needle scars hurt a lot. Nurses, they were giving me Tylenol. After a couple days of being there, I developed very severe urinary tract infection, and now I think since the toilet in my room was sanitized, the only sources I could have gotten that was from that motherfucking catheter they installed without my consent, all from that motherfucking bathroom in the emergency room, in the emergency hospital, where they didn't even have soap in that fucking bathroom. So, in addition to abusing me, they also gave me urinary tract infection. I'm still taking medications from it. I was in a lot of pain. I screamed when I peed. There was hearing, like I was some kind of fucking criminal. There was hearing, like I can't believe it. Like there was like a court hearing. Like what the fuck? Why am I arrested? I haven't committed any crimes. It's called temporary detention order. They have no right. They have no right. The motherfucker who issued it has no right. I think it was the same coercive person who's been to the house previously when I was in a vulnerable state, when I was in crisis, and she was manipulative and tried to coerce sensitive personal information out of me, including social security number, despite my repeatedly refusing to give it to her. Alexandria, Virginia is full of fucking haters, that I will tell you. Fucking corrupt haters and liars. I think that was the end of it. Oh no, that would be so fucking good, huh? Wouldn't it? I used to have this peer support group. Of other autistic people. So, once I was released from the riverside, there was one of them. They used to have these Zoom chats. I shared my experience during that chat, and I advised them to not trust the state and to not contact the state, because state is not their friend. They have trusted family members that would be their support. After that, a leader of the group, president of the group, posted this post, basically invalidating and gaslighting about everything that I said. And I wrote to him and I said, I felt as if you hit me. How could you do that? He wrote in his post that they cared for me and protected me. I said, if that is a care and protection, then I do not know what abuse is. After that, he just cut my access to the group, without bothering as much to notify me, which I thought was creepy as fuck. I just noticed I suddenly couldn't see any posts anymore. After that, he wrote nasty-ass email to Ken and tried to lecture Ken and complain about how he couldn't control me. Of course you cannot control me. I'm not your motherfucking monkey, asshole. I'm not your slave. I'm a free person. Nobody has the right to control me. So yeah, in my most desperate moment, in my most vulnerable state, I was cut off from that support as well. Good going. Great going. Yeah, abuse me more. Why not? I'm not dead yet. Keep beating me until I'm a pulp on the ground. After that, Ken contacted a therapist to work with me. That therapist had in her policies that she will contact 911 if there is suicide thoughts and share protected health information with them. I wrote and I said, please do not share protected health information with them and do not call 911. I will sign legal, I will hold you harmless. I will not sue you. I will sign legal liability waivers, whatever ones you want. And she said, no, I cannot. I will contact them. As I said, I have been recently horrendously tortured and abused, and then I will just avoid talking about suicide with you, because with my particular condition, I'm unable to lie due to lack of processing power. So avoidance is the only tool I have. And I thought it was good. It was the right thing to do, to be honest and upfront about everything. Ken said, have you maybe thought about practicing lying? And I said, what the fuck, dude? What is your problem? Oh, why would I practice lying? Are you fucking kidding me? I tell the truth. This is what I do. After that, therapist wrote back and said that she canceled my appointment, just like that. Just, that's it. So that's what honesty gets you. This world is full of pathological lies. You cannot tell truth to people. They just cannot deal with it. So yeah, I'm alone. I'm very hurt. I'm extraordinarily traumatized. There are things that I cannot process. I'm trying to process them, and I am just returning processing error. Why was I abused like this and treated like a dangerous criminal when I haven't committed any crimes? Why they didn't use any disability protections, any sensory friendly means, even in the car on the way? I asked again, how do you deal with other autistic people who have sensory issues? And they said that the laws, lobby for better laws. What the fuck? What the fuck? Why do I have to lobby in this fucking insane country? United States is not a first world country. United States is a fucking third world country. You don't have human rights here, especially for mentally disabled people. You don't. You're monsters. Why the fuck do I need to lobby any fucking body just to be safe and respected? I deserve the same respect as neurotypical people. I'm a person, I'm not a thing. I think that was the fucking end of it. Oh no, that would be too fucking good, wouldn't it be? Ken said we should go to the house to pick some shit up. Went to the house. I couldn't be in the house. Oh, I couldn't see. The anxiety was so bad. I just... I entered my room. I destroyed safe space. I just wanted to scream. I couldn't bear to touch my bed. I was assaulted. On the way back, we drove to that random hotel we stayed in now. I cannot have a home right now. I'm staying at the random hotel. The road, there was road signs, and temporarily destroyed my memory and started to return. It just causes even more trauma. And I recognize some of the signs I suggested on the trip. I couldn't bear to look at them. I couldn't bear to be there. I just cried. I closed my eyes and cried. I couldn't bear to be that truth. Don't have a home now. I don't have any support now. I don't have anything now. I just don't want to be. I don't want to live. I'm very sad. I cannot talk to anybody about it, apparently. Everybody's a fucking betrayer. I'll just set with some vultures, these abusers at me again. Consent will sue the abusers. As a fucking lawsuit can make me whole. I want to sue these motherfuckers in handcuffs, tied down like a mad cow. I want to see them tied down. I want to have them sell their fucking IKEA furniture to pay the lawsuit. I don't want taxpayers to pay for it. The taxpayers didn't fucking do anything. I want them to be stripped of their qualified immunity, prosecuted, and fired and put in jail, and these motherfucking so-called medical professionals, oh my fucking gods, I want their licenses permanently revoked. And they're criminally prosecuted and jailed so they cannot abuse anybody disabled autistics like me. What the fucking monsters. I don't have anything now. I don't have anybody now. As I wrote to the president of the peer support group, a friend. Indeed is a friend indeed, and you weren't. You really weren't. You were a complete and utter asshole. So, no help for me, no hope for me, no support for me. I just try to think about all of this, and I try to think about how I can trust Ken again, and I return processing error. It's eating me like an acid. I don't think I will last very long. cannot process all of that. This trauma is too much. I cannot process it. I do not know what to do. I do not know what to do.